Welcome to ThursDIAZ. We are reunited and it feels so good. Beto Duran, Joel Diaz, and Roberto Diaz joining us right now. Thanks for everybody. Before we get the hellos, the salutations, everything else, let's get Jeremiah Gallegos with the open.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. It's Thursday,
and you already know what that means.
Plenty of laughs, off the subject discussions, and of course, real boxing talk. So pop open a cold one or vino. Here's the real life Tres Amigos, sports TV broadcaster and reporter, Vergil Duran, your host.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
And co-host, legendary Golden Boy matchmaker, Roberto Diaz, and world champion trainer, Jojo Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ThursDIAZ.
We are here. We are ready. We are ready. Roberto, and if Roberto isn't paying attention to the entire show, it's because he's making fights because we have a fight next week. And we appreciate you coming out, Roberto. Coach is looking good in the jacket in the desert right now.
It's cold.
You're
It's
not
cold.
in your room, Coach. You moved.
I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's right. He doesn't have that little bar behind him anymore.
Yeah.
I'm in the kitchen today.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, everybody coming in and joining us. For those wondering how come I didn't make it a big announcement, because my schedule was all up in the air today. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. And then as soon as I could, I texted Roberto, I texted Coach, and you guys are, let's get going. It's going to be fun. And Bobby, we've been having the show. We had two shows without you. We didn't do it last week. We did the week before. And then we had Toño involved. We had Razo celebrating his Rams. But of course, we love those guys, but we miss you, Roberto. And it's
Thank you.
glad to have you here, man. How have you been?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Beto. I love it. Love to be back.
Where you been?
You know, there was a couple times where, oh my God, it's Thursday already, and
Yeah.
I was either out at dinner, at a friend's house. I mean, just one reason or another, it was like, oh man, I didn't even know it was Thursday today. And I wasn't near the computer. I don't like doing it on the phone either.
No, of
so
course not. Of course not.
it was just the timing.
Yeah, it's been fun though. But yeah, and then we haven't had many fights to go on, so there wasn't like anything else. But I wanted to make sure that we had you on the day, because next week we will be at USC getting ready for Vergil Ortiz, who's going to be fighting in the main event. And this guy, Mikey, man, I sent him a message and said, hey, Mikey, I know you get creative with your pictures. He's always good. And I said, can you just do something, because we're going to be at USC next week. Let's get going. And this guy, I mean,
Yeah.
I told him to put the USC building, right, where we're going to have the fight at the Galen Center. Oh, my God. Coach is in a polo like he's playing rugby. Toño, Roberto, we all go to USC. He puts in Razo, who's a UCLA fan, and then Tiger Woods out of nowhere.
On the back, I see him.
Again, this Mikey guy, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he does or who he is or whatever it is, but man, he's creative. He's that guy where you got to make sure he's on your side, right? You got to make sure he's on your good side. See, no?
Well, I don't know, because I saw the other one he wanted to put up, and I don't understand where he got those little tennis shoes from me. I'm looking at
Which
the
one?
other one, and I'm like, what's up with those little tennis shoes?
Oh, I didn't even see.
And you have that fancy, nice hairdo with polo, and I'm like, what's up with the little tennis shoes?
He's
They were like little Jeremiah tennis shoes. I have them. I'm like, come on.
You
man.
want to know, Beto? You want to know what he does? That's what he does. That's what he's so good at.
But he's quick. I even have him doing stuff for my baseball podcast, and he's not even a baseball fan, but I have him doing video, pictures, whatever. But he's ready to go. But yeah, Coach, how have you been? How's the gym? I know there's sessions at 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 o'clock at night. How you been?
You know what? I'm actually blessed, man. I'm happy to see you guys. I'm actually happy to see Roberto. I haven't seen him in a long time, and Roberto knows me. I'm the last person that would ever bug him or call him or be a pain in the ass for him. No, I've been good. As you can see, you know, we are blessed, man. I'm just happy that since I opened that gym, we got a lot of activity. 6 in the morning, we have a class. And then at 10 a.m., that's when I start training my pros. From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I take a little break, and then I come back at 5. I have the kids, the beginners at 5, and then the advanced at 6. And then from 8 at night to 9, I have another class at night, adults. So we are busy, but it's only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we have adult classes. Tuesdays and Thursdays we just deal with the kids and the pros. Right now we have Beck fighting next week. We'll see you guys out there next week. He's on the card, and Miguel Gaona as well. He's on the card, so that's keeping me busy, and I'm actually happy that now that this Canelo fight is happening. We got Dmitry Bivol back in here in town. He's training in our gym, and I'm happy that now that we opened this facility, we got these fighters there, top elite fighters training in our gym. I mean, we're blessed to have them here.
Hey, Coach, what is your involvement with Bivol? Is he just using your gym, or what are you doing with him?
Look, he's using our gym. As you guys know, we have a great relationship with Vadim and all his team. I train all his fighters, and Vadim is also managing Bivol, Dmitry Bivol, and Bivol has his trainer. But coming to India is basically, to get us involved as well. Some advices here and there, because Antonio and I, we have a lot of experience, and they've always talked about this Mexican style fighting, and they always ask us for advice. Now the Bivol is here, we are going to get involved as well, and some opinions, suggestions. What do you think? What should we do? And I mean, we're just a big team. We're just a big team. We're just a big family. And every opinion counts, every opinion from people that have experience and have been there, it counts. So they're happy just to be here with us. I mean, I've been out there with Canelo against Yildirim, on that fight as well. I know Canelo, I know his style. So they're here to take any advice and any help from us as well.
So will you be in the corner that day, or is that too far down the road?
That's a little too far down the road. Okay. He's been here for the first week. They're gonna start setting up. Everything. But I will be at the fight because I have another Shakram Diaz will possibly be fighting on that card as well.
I mean, well, if Coach is gonna be there, I think we need to make a road trip. I'm not gonna work that fight, but I think I might have to go and go radio row or the podcast row and start doing the ThursDIAZ from Las Vegas. I think that might have to be an adventure. I think we might have to make
just the fact that Dmitry Bivol was fighting Canelo that night. Yeah. I mean, he's training our gym, and we're gonna support. I mean, he's became part of our team. We've been since I started working with Vadim, and now that I was told today that Shakram will be on the undercard. I mean, we got more involvement now.
So that's breaking news. Now we know that Shakram is going to be on the undercard. That'll be good to know. So we'll have a.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Beto. I have to do this.
Go ahead.
I have to. Coach, help me there.
How?
April 30th, they're telling me MJ against Ronnie in New York. Wouldn't it make more sense? You got Bivol, you got Shakram, and you would have MJ a week later, all in the same place, rather than going one place and another.
I mean, that would be great for me.
Vadim could talk to his side. I'll talk to my side, and I'll push on this side, because I just think for the Mexican and Vegas versus New York, yeah. I think it'll do better. It fits better there. Now you have Ronnie against Uzbekistan, and you have Mexico against Uzbekistan, and you have Mexico against Russia. I mean, it plays more with that main event.
I mean, I love the idea. Because we're gonna be there that night, and if you guys can make it happen, of course, I'll do whatever it takes from my side.
Coach, he needs you to make that push.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll do whatever is from my end to make it happen. Actually, Vadim is in town right now. Vadim just arrived today. He was at the gym with us today, and I will bring it up to him tomorrow. I'll bring it up to his attention, and if we can make it happen, I'm pretty sure that'll be a great great idea to have them on the same card. It'll play out for everybody.
Perfect. I'll mention it to them as well.
All right, see, we're not messing around tonight. We're coming with straight negocio, straight heat, straight fire, as the kids would say.
Hey, since the beginning of the show, Roberto's over there negotiating and talking boxing, and now, hey, we're on it now. You know,
the mind just went 100 miles. I need to finish opponents. By the way, Coach, I don't know if you've been told, but we got our first date back at Fantasy Springs. We haven't announced it, but get Manuel Flores ready because he was on there before. You know, he was always scheduled as soon as we got date. Well, he'll be on the first event.
Thank you, Roberto. I really appreciate that. That kid has a lot of potential, man. I've been saving him here, and hopefully we can work something out. This kid has a lot of potential, and I guarantee you, because I see him here. The other day, when was it? Yeah, 2 days ago, Jojo Diaz called me, Coach, can I head down there to get some sparring? Sure. You know, my house is your house. He showed up. He goes, I want to do 10 rounds. I lined them up. Even Manuel Flores got in there with Jojo Diaz.
Really?
Yeah. It was a good little scrap right there, you know, but it was good work. You know, Jojo, showed up, and actually he's coming back tomorrow to get some sparring. He hit me up and said, Coach, can we do some mitts tomorrow? Sure. I mean, you know me, man, I got you, you know. So he's coming this way. You know, I like that kid. He's always been a great kid. I like him. And we never broke a relationship between him and I. We've always been talking, and now that he started coming back, he liked the environment. He liked the energy that was in the gym 2 days ago. So he's coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow he says, Coach, I want to spar 12 rounds tomorrow. I got you, Jojo. Whatever you need, I got you. So he's coming tomorrow again. But like I said, Manny Flores is a kid that he don't say no. You put him in there. It doesn't matter if he's a 118 pounder. You put out 22, 26, 130, 135. He's in there with us.
Oh, that kid. I like him.
Yeah. He's the kid that won on the Top Rank show. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of days, right after the fight, he was right back in the gym. That's what I like.
Yeah. I like and then he fought for you guys in Texas, remember?
Yep.
He fought out there.
All right, now a couple questions, Roberto, because you threw a lot at
First round knockout.
Yeah. There's a lot you threw out there. Let me start with work my way backwards. Jojo Diaz is going to spar with Coach, but I haven't heard that Jojo has a fight. Is there something that you can say without saying it?
Expect an announcement very soon. It's going to be a fun announcement, and I'm excited about it. Jojo, right after the Haney fight, practically right back in the gym. Yep. Was right back in the gym, and that was impressive because, he made some good money, and obviously he had a good, tough showing, and then the holidays came. He could have disappeared from the wall a little bit and got comfortable. No, he got hungrier, and they stayed in the gym, and there'll be an announcement very soon, and people should be excited about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, Jojo's completely changed his attitude. You can just tell as a father, his attitude.
As a father, I think that's one of the key things. You're right. As a father.
Yeah.
You're right. After
he matured.
After the Haney fight, he could have just taken a 2-month off, go on vacation, get fat, do whatever you want, which is fine. But he's back there working. So when Coach is saying that he's asking for sparring, like, wait a minute, why do you need sparring? And let alone 12 rounds. Like, okay, all right, I'm excited now. And remember,
remember something about Jojo. When Jojo comes to the gym, he's not a kid that wants to spar 2-3 rounds. Jojo always, since I known him, he'll show up to a gym. He doesn't want to. By the time he's doing 4-5 rounds, he's barely warming up. Jojo is a kid that even if he don't have a fight, he'll be sparring no less than 8 rounds. Simple as that.
All right. I like that.
And I want to touch on that, Beto. You said, he matured a lot. Well, it's a Diaz thing. We take a little while.
You're right on that. Yeah. You are right on that, Roberto.
I just matured a couple years ago, so it takes us a little while.
It just takes a little while, yeah.
Now,
We mature a little
Roberto,
long.
you're telling Coach to have a fighter ready for a fantasy spring show. What fantasy spring show? What are you talking about?
We'll be announcing very soon a new series, and we're excited about that. And that's going to bring back some fights at Fantasy, which has always been Fantasy Springs has always been a great partner for Golden Boy, and also the fan base there. You see a lot of the same faces, show after show after show. You get to know people. They have a great fan base out there in the valley, in the desert, and I'm excited because once we announce it, hopefully we'll get back into that regular series with them.
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not, no me estoy haciendo menso ahorita, but you said a series. That sounds like it's going to be like what? Like a Velasco type? Like a development series? Because you mentioned Coach's young fighter.
Well, I mean, it's going to be what I like to call, I don't like a developmental as much because that would be more of the 4 and 6 rounders and stuff, but let's say we got a couple fighters, former champions coming off losses. It's a make or break type fight. That could be the main event. But the winner goes back on to, a better challenge or a bigger fight or a bigger payday. The loser, you start contemplating, do I want to be a gatekeeper or what am I going to do, an opponent? And then on the undercard, obviously, you start showcasing some of that young talent that's not ready to go to the major TV network, but you have your eye on them to bring them along, progress, and get up there at one point.
Oh, okay. So this is a chance for these kids to get some eyeballs instead of fighting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. When
Exactly. That's a good way of saying it. Instead of being that undercard of, and you still haven't made it, or you're coming off a loss and you need that. Okay, let me go get. I really like it because the main event should be 2 names that are a make or break type fight, and then the rest could be all the young kids coming up.
All right. So details coming soon. Golden Boy's PR staff is gonna be busy, man. Press release is coming all your way. Cecilia, get ready, man. There's all kinds of stuff coming out there. All right. Now let's talk about what's going to happen next Saturday. Vergil Ortiz in the main event. The announcement came out, I think yesterday or today. Beck the Bully is going to be in the ring. And also, what did I see?
Blair Cobbs and Rocha.
Blair Cobbs and Rocha for
That's
sure.
a good fight.
And then the one, Azat Hovhannissian on the card. So we're starting to get the names coming out for next weekend. So
Alex Rincon. You also have Alejandro Reyes from the west side, Pimpon. And also, for those that don't know, guys, pay attention, watch this kid because, I had seen him outside the ring, always hanging out with our champ and his team. And I thought, okay, the kid caught my eye because the way he dresses, the way he walks into a place, flamboyant, he had something. And they told me one day, hey, I'm a fighter, get me on a card. I'm like, oh, shit, you're a fighter. Okay. Put him on a card in Dallas underneath Zurdo. He's part of Zurdo Promotions. And not only is he flashy outside the ring, he's an entertainer and flashy inside the ring. And right away I said, Scrappy, I want you back in the ring as soon as possible. So he's on the undercard in LA. He's very fun to watch. Small weight class, but a huge heart, cojones, and flamboyant. I mean, you know what? Reminds me of little Hector Macho Camacho.
Yeah, Scrappy Boxing. John Ramirez with Surdo's team. He put on a good show in Texas when we saw him. Also, Miguel Gaona, who decided to move and train with Coach. And Coach was beating him up the first 2 weeks. And Coach, I didn't think he was going to come back. And now this kid's all fired up. I like that.
You should see him right now. I mean, when he came to camp, I mean, you couldn't even see his eyes. I didn't even think he had a neck. Now he has a neck, and you can see his eyes. He's in great shape. Believe me. Watch. When he came to me, I mean, he was recommended by his manager. You probably know his manager, Roberto. You know Miguel Gaona's manager?
Joel Diaz Jr.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, exactly. How did you know that?
Well,
Okay.
all of a sudden, Miguel tells me, Robert, I'm going to go to India and start training. And then I'm like, what? Really? Are you sure? I mean, that's a long way. Are you going to stay out? Yeah, I'm going to stay out there. And then I see that he was having dinner the night before or went out to dinner with Joel. So I said, I wonder if Junior has something to do with this. And then he sent me texts.
Yeah.
He sent me a few texts like, I guess that hill, maybe he got sick and he was done. I mean, obviously he showed up. He wasn't even in what he thought was in great shape. But he sent me a message last night, I think, or the night before, where, I mean, he's very grateful. You could see he's hard, dedicated, motivated, and knows he worked really hard for this camp and worked not only hard, worked right, because his confidence is through the ceiling. And I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, I like Miguel. Good kid.
Since the first day he arrived in the gym, I said, okay. And then my son tells me, hey, Dad, break him. I said, okay, no problem. I got you. I mean, I really don't have to do anything special. All I have to do is just put him to work like everybody else does. And it was tough for him. I mean, the first days he was hurting, but he never quit. And he kept going. He stayed at the camp house by himself because there was nobody at the house but him. So he was at the house alone. I said, you know what? This guy is going to think like, okay, I'm here alone by myself. I don't like it. I'm going to go back. He was at the house by himself. He pushed every day. I killed him in the gym every day and never quit. Never quit. As a matter of fact,
and
a couple of weeks ago, he was in sparring. He's a good little boxer. He can box. Believe me, Roberto, he has great footwork. He can move. He's flashy. He will not get hit. But that's not what I wanted. I want you to get into an exchange. You want to knock somebody out? You better give me. And it got to a point where I'm counting his punches. I want more punches than this. In the next round, I want more punches. And if you don't give me the punches I'm asking you in the next round, I'm going to add another round to it. And that's the kind of stuff that I was giving him. So, he built a relationship with a lot of the guys in the gym. And he became friends with the guy that he spars. So one time, I get in there, I say, okay, Miguel, you're going to spar, and I need you to give me more volume of punches, please. All right? They get in there, and they start like punching each other. And I got mad. I said, okay, guys, get off the fucking ring. Both of you get off the ring right now. Why? You guys are not working. You guys are just touching each other like you guys are going to go to a movies and you buy a bag of popcorn and just hold hands. And they look at me like, oh, no, we're going to work, coach. No, get off the ring. You guys are not here to work. Don't waste my time. No, coach, we got it. As soon as, okay, go again. Keep going. After that, Roberto, they were throwing bombs. They were throwing bombs. I said, that's the kind of work I need right there. Why? Because the day of the fight, I need you to knock this kid out. Because if you're not going to get in there and exchange and give me what I want, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a water bottle in the corner and I'm going to walk away. So whenever you come to the corner, you drink water on your own. No, coach, I'm going to do it. I got this.
I heard he sparred Tito Acosta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did some rounds with Tito Acosta, with Manuel Flores, with some of the guys that were coming in, yeah. But at first, when he came in, it was just Tito Acosta, Areli, and him at the house. They were sharing the house. And there was really nobody for him to spar, so I would put him in there with Tito so he can work with Tito. Yeah, but he did get a little bit of a beating by a lot of the guys at first, and now he's.
Hey, quien te manda, right? You wanted to be a pro fighter? Here you go.
But that speaks volumes because for those of the fans and everybody listening that don't know him, he has a very successful business. He doesn't need boxing. No. He could be, not happy sleeping out there by himself, working that hard, running, training, getting beat up and sparring at times, and be out here living the life in LA And as a business owner, he is a business owner, but he chose, I want to box. I want to do something, enjoy. He loves boxing. So props to him. I like his determination. And I believe I'm going to see a different Miguel Gaona come next week than we did in the first. Obviously, now he's done that first one before. Confidence and training, I think we're going to see it.
I told him, Roberto, if you don't see a different Miguel Gaona, I will choke his little ass in the corner. I told him, and he knows. I'm telling you, because when he came to me, he goes, Coach, I want to knock somebody out. Okay, let's train to knock somebody out. So when he started, I go, this is not gonna do it. So you gotta pick it up. So it became to a point where I told him, Miguel, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna go to this fight to embarrass myself. So you're gonna get in there, and if you don't listen to me, I'm telling you, I will either choke you in the corner, or I will just leave a water bottle right there, and I'll walk away, and you drink water on your own. So, but it was a fun and games at a point, but now I see his determination. And what I like about him, Roberto, is this. I've had legitimate fighters, contenders, maybe world champions, that would drive or they would come into Coachella Valley and hang out, and they wouldn't hang it because, there's nothing to do here, and he did it. He's not one of those guys that you say, oh, he's a contender, he's a world champion, but he's here every day. Coach, I'm here. I'm not going back home. I'm staying here. And he trains hard, and at night he goes jogging and whatever, and he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. He's here every day. He's pushing it on his weight. Right now, he's focused on his weight. Tomorrow's his last day of sparring. Wednesday, he did 6 rounds. Tomorrow, he's going to close with 6 rounds. Even his manager called me. Hey, if he's not doing right, hey, we'll get him out. And I tell him, he goes, no, I got this. So he knows.
Wait, is your son really his manager?
No, they're friends, but they're friends, but he says that Joel is his manager. He just says he is. He's always helping him.
Yeah, just like I'm the mayor of Carson, and the real mayor gets mad. That's. But yeah, so Miguel Gaona will be fighting, and those fights, 6 fights are going to be on the Golden Boy YouTube page. I'll be on the broadcast for it, and I can't wait to say. First round, I'm like, we better get a knockout if Coach Jojo Diaz is not going to choke him in the corner. He said it.
I'll choke his ass. I told him.
That'll be fight. Also, you have Dallas Kaliopu from Waianae, Hawaii, who's going to be a really good kid. I like him. He's 1-0. Then Gaona. Ramya Ali, I believe that's how you say her name, is going to be fighting. She's from London. Then also Pinpon Reyes out of Westside Box, who's 6-0. Scrappy Ramirez, who's 8-0. He's really from South Central, 7 KOs. Then Alex Rincon from Dallas, Texas. And then the main event on the YouTube section will be Azat Hovhannisyan, so that'll be pretty good. The DAZN opener is going to be Evan Sanchez. And then Beck the Bully, Alexis Rocha, and Blair Cobbs, Vergil Ortiz, and Michael McKinson are the main event. And what I'm going to get into, today was Blair the Flair Cobbs Media Day. Yesterday was Alexis Rocha. Roberto, that's a fight that when it was announced, immediately the social media reaction was, what? Really? They're both willing to fight each other. Oh, the reaction of Golden Boy putting their guys in tough. Good. It's about time. It's if you lose that fight, oh well. But if you're going up against somebody tough, it's a good scrap. How did that one come up?
I'm excited about it. So we've been talking about that fight to both sides for a while. Both sides have practically in the past said yes. On this particular card, it was like our first show of the year. When I started putting the card together, I started penciling, and I penciled in Rocha, and I penciled in Cobbs. I started penciling, but as I'm looking for formidable opponents, who can Rocha fight? Who can Cobbs fight? Who can? The easiest thing is right here, boom. Rather than looking for 2 guys. Here he is, right there. And I had it on the paper, and I'm looking, and I'm like, makes all the sense. As a co-main event, good stage. You got a main event in the welterweights in the main event. Now the co-main event's welterweights. You got 4 fighters, only 1 loss between all 4. I mean, this could be, the winner here could go on to that next level and fight some big names as well. So when I called both sides, within 2 or 3 days, it was done. So I saw that when we announced it, the reaction of the fans and excitement. And you know what? That's what makes it all worthwhile. Now, they both have to do their thing. They both have to. The winner has to not just win, has to win convincingly, so they could go on to that next level. So I'm excited. Obviously, expect the unexpected next week. With Blair, he's a character. He's a star. He believes in himself. Rocha's very different. He's more quiet. Does his talking in the ring. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be entertainment. It's gonna be what fans do not want to miss.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good one there. And Coach, everybody wants to know who's the one washing dishes right now. Raza wants to know who's
My
washing
wife.
dishes. Your wife?
Look.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, I'm in the kitchen.
Que bueno,
And then,
que bueno. Que bueno. And here's the thing, though. They're washing dishes. The rest of you guys need to take notes. Take notes. Right? There you go. That's our new manager right there.
That's not a new manager. Look,
Yeah.
she's right there. But I told you, I'm in the kitchen because the lighting over there was like not.
No, it's fine. It's fine, Coach. But like all the people complaining about doing dishes, well, buy some dishes. Everybody uses paper plates. That's what they do. So they don't know about soap.
No,
Saben.
right here, we don't buy paper dishes.
Oh man, Coach, what are you having? What are you drinking?
Dos X.
All right, I got a little vino. Roberto, what do you got? You still on your cleanse?
Agüita.
Agüita de melón.
Agua. What are you doing? You drinking water, Roberto?
Roberto's all
just-
skinny. He's all fit.
No, you know what? I got home. I had dinner. I got bloated. I got so full that ahorita no me entra nada.
Oh man, there you go. So that'll be a good one. That'll be next fight. And tell your wife, we're not mad if she's washing dishes. That's su casa. She can keep doing it.
No, I mean, she's washing dishes, but she washes dishes all day
Yeah, exactly. Well, because your manager's over
because
there eating a lot.
because there's always a lot of activity in the kitchen.
Yeah. What's it called? All right, and then Roberto, the main event, Vergil Ortiz against a British fighter. Is it how do you say his name?
McKinson.
McKinson. It is McKinson. Michael McKinson, British guy, I've been reading some articles about him. I've seen some interviews of his on YouTube. This guy is very confident, Roberto. He's 21-0. Hasn't fought the best opposition. It's a padded record. But my goodness, Roberto, his attitude, the way he talks, this guy said he's coming for the knockout. Who is he?
Well, Michael McKinson, you're absolutely right, Beto. He is very confident. And when the fight was offered to them, it didn't take long to sign and do it. And you know what? You do not have a list of guys wanting to fight Vergil. So I applaud him. I respect him. He has a reason to be confident. I mean, he's undefeated. He's never tasted defeat. So that's a dangerous fighter. And he's clever. He's elusive, southpaw. So it's going to make it a little bit difficult and tricky, but it's also good for Vergil to see the southpaw when you consider that who's the champions in that division, Ugas, Spence, and Crawford. What do they have in common besides having belts? Their stand. So I want to see this. I mean, it'll be tricky. It'll be elusive. Like I said, he's very confident. But look, 100% KO knockout ratio by Vergil. Come the 19th, with 20 knockouts.
Yeah, that'll be at USC Galen Center. Beautiful facility. I've worked a lot of basketball games there. It's pretty cool for boxing, the way that they have it set up. So fights will start at 3 o'clock next Saturday. If you're not there on time, if you're driving, it'll be available on the Golden Boy YouTube page. In the past, it would either be Facebook or you couldn't find it. Now it's going to be the Golden Boy YouTube page exclusively. You can see that next Saturday, and I'll be on the broadcast with that. So it'll be pretty good. All right, Vergil Ortiz. I saw him a couple weeks ago. One, he's always in great shape. He's training with his dad, but they're going to Manny Robles' gym and right there in, I think, Southgate with Estrellita también. But it's him and his dad doing their thing. I know Roberto's an easy question, but like, dude, like this kid is just so locked in. It seems like he's tuning it even more the closer he gets to that world title shot.
Well, I think yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a young man that's very mature for his age. I believe he eats, sleeps, dreams, everything is boxing and world title. That's why he's very close. Look, he's 1 or 2 fights away from not only fighting for the world title, but becoming a world champion. Disciplined, hardworking, and talented, and powerful. So he has all the ingredients. It's just a timing and a matter of time. And one of these guys to step up and say, look, we're going to give him a world title shot, or he becomes a mandatory because it's not like there's a lot of hands raised.
Is that the thing with Vergil? The problem is people wanting to take him on?
That's correct.
Okay. Enough said there. Enough said there. And Coach, how's Beck doing?
Beck is looking great right now. He started training a long time ago, since he got here from Uzbekistan, and he's been nonstop in the gym. And since the moment that we were told that he was on the card, I mean, he stepped it up. I brought a kid from Guadalajara, Mexico. Really tough kid. I mean, real tough. 168-pounder, solid kid to spar. And yesterday they did 8 rounds. Tomorrow he's gonna close with 10. And I mean, he's just looking really sharp. He looks in really good shape. He's focused. He also matured a lot. Remember that loss to Rosado? It was a learning lesson for him. So now he has a different mentality. Walking in, I can tell how much he matured even when he's sparring. He's more careful with a lot of things. He picks his shots. He's not as reckless as he was before, but he's very effective and he's very powerful. You can tell that Antonio and I have been working with him in the point of, looking ahead as a professional. Don't get in there, get reckless in the beginning, take your time, break them down. And if you hurt them, take them out, but don't jump in it. Don't jump in there like he did. And he learned like, that loss it was a learning lesson for him. And, you're going to see a different Beck coming up.
It'll be good. And for those of you guys wondering about tickets, we don't have any. The tickets are selling well because Miguel Gaona sold over 300. Seriously, I was like, how many did you sell? Like 100? He's like, no, I sold over 300 of the good ones. Westside Boxing always sells a bunch. And then they have a big following. And then all of Santana's coming out for Alexis Rocha.
For Alexis Rocha
has his crew. So like when people are like, oh, usually for ThursDIAZ we'll give tickets away. Not this time. We don't have any to give away. Even the ones I requested for myself did not get approved. So I gotta find. So if you're my friend, I don't have any tickets for you. So go ahead and maybe Jojo Diaz Jr., my new manager, can help me out or something like that. But I'm not making that up. There were no comp tickets available for this one, so it's good. And then Vergil also, he's fought in Texas a couple of times with Coach. As you know this with him, he came from Texas. He came trained with you in the first couple of fights. Roberto, this kid is building his fan base, not just in Texas, but all over the place. Was that the plan to, hey, let's expand him a little bit more?
Well, you know what? In this particular case, him and his team wanted to fight in LA. They had fought in Texas back-to-back. And obviously, LA is a very important boxing town. California, West Coast. So, yes, when they requested to fight here right away, and got there was a lot of other places that were on hold that wasn't available. Bennett Center became available. There was a little criticism that I heard and stuff. Oh, look, you got to remember, put a hold on the place. We announced first, and then there was another announcement. Carlo was going to fight Castaño. What do? Okay, get up or pack our things, lose the hold, lose the deposit, move to another venue. In this case, go back to Texas. Daniel gets injured, gets pulled. Do we then pull him out and lose the hold and the deposit there and then come back to California and not find a venue or end up without anything? In today's boxing world, you're always going to go head to head. You can't be worried about what if somebody else has a show that weekend and what? Yeah, you know what? It's tough sometimes for the fans because you can divide them. But it's part of the industry we're in right now where we're all closed down for a long time. And now that we opened up, hey, you're going to take the pick they give you and go out and get the best card you can. And if you go against UFC or MMA or another boxing match, it is what it is. You got to go against it. And sometimes you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But the show must go on. And imagine if we would have moved it out somewhere else right now.
Ande, se enojó el perro. See? But, Roberto, you're talking about moving the fight, and Coach's dog got mad. He didn't want you to move.
The dog is mad.
Exactly. And you know what? We stuck to the show where it was going to be originally. Castaño got injured. They postponed their show. And now we're going to have a full house, a great card, and hopefully a lot of exciting fights.
And this is what I'm going to say. People that complain on Twitter, you guys weren't going to the fights anyways. You guys were just going to complain and stay home and then say, oh, who has the login or who has the password I can use. So all the chillones are like, oh, they should do this, they should do that. You're not even leaving your house, Mr. Boxing Guru, so don't even start with that.
Mr. Boxing Guru.
Stay in your cul-de-sac. But no, that's the thing, too. That's where it becomes very important for a matchmaker like yourself and like Razo, where you have to provide more than just the main event, right, Bobby? Where you have to give the especially now when people they say they don't got no money and gas is expensive, you got to make sure they got a reason to go.
Así es. You got to put something for everybody. The undercard is very important from that first fight on because those are your future champions, or the champions of tomorrow. And most of the time, you know what? They're the ones, the locals. They're the ones that are bringing the cousins, the tios, the friends, the teacher from school, and have a lot of that support. So. All props to them because they're just as important.
There it is. That's all kinds of good stuff going on. All right. We have a question here for you, Roberto. When will Ricardo Sandoval fight Edwards? Sandoval, the kid out of San Bernardino, or Rialto, right?
Yes. So Ricardo Sandoval went to the UK last year, won the world title eliminator. Edwards, I believe, has one mandatory before, and then Ricardo becomes. But to be honest, I think we might go a different direction than the IBF with Edwards fight. Maybe go win a WBC, go win a WBA world title, and then possibly do the Edwards fight in a unification, making it bigger. But that way, champion versus champion, both have champion privileges. Maybe it's a fight that we do here in the States. If Edwards, I saw the other day, he was willing to jump on a plane and come out on short notice. Well, maybe once Ricardo wins the title, we can do a unification and we'll give him plenty of notice so that he flies out here.
Yeah, I like Ricardo. Yep. I think he fights at 108 or 112, one of those?
112. And he's top rated in all the organizations. Very, very disciplined. I mean, probably one of the most disciplined kids I've ever worked with and that I've ever known because he is definitely no days off. That's his motto, no days off. If Monchi's coach, manager, trainer is listening, te mando un saludo, Monchis.
Yeah, he's a good dude. And Ricardo Sandoval, a kid, I think he's from Rialto or he goes to school at Cal State San Bernardino, but he's the one when he came back from England the first time you went with Roberto, he had his victory party inside a taller. And he had the banda there. You get your tires rotated, and you get a banda, and you get mariscos. That's my kind of fighter right there. I like that kid. Real nice kid. So we'll see him. So I like him a lot, too. All right, so if you guys have a question, we'll take a couple for you guys. One question was, Coach, who are the fighter you were talking about saying that they couldn't hang in India?
Nah, that's confident, man. There's been a few. There's been a few fighters out there that they come to India and all of a sudden they complain they gotta go back, and they go back because they said there's nothing to do here in India. But when you come to India, you come to train. There shouldn't be nothing else to do but to train, But that's the way it is. And Miguel Gaona, that's the reason why I'm working with him. That's the reason why I'm training him. I'm giving him my time because he showed that it didn't matter what was happening in town, if there was things to do or not, he came here for a reason, and that's to get ready for the fight, for his fight, and train. And even though he's not, an elite fighter, an Olympian, or a contender or a champion, he works as hard. I'm telling you, this kid works. He trains. He don't complain. Today, I mean, on Thursdays, it's a really hard workout, and he finished it. He was dead tired, but he never complained.
Okay. All right. Here's a question for you, Roberto. It says, what do you know about Figo Ramirez? He trains with Vergil Ortiz.
Yeah. I believe he's from out there. I mean, he is from Dallas. He's a pro debut, smaller weight classes, part of the same team with Hector Beltran, Coach Beltran, and Vergil Sr. Okay. Good friends with Vergil Jr. I met him a few weeks back. Very hard worker, very young. I mean, young kid, very dedicated. And we're actually in the process of getting his debut going pretty soon.
Okay, so he's not on the Vergil card.
Yeah. Right now the plan is for him to be on the card.
Okay.
We're just looking for an opponent and getting all his final things on licensing done.
Okay, so he's scheduled to be, right? I mean, as we know right now, everybody's scheduled until you actually have the contract and you have the opponent. Because Roberto, like I said before the show started, Roberto was on the phone call making a fight or making some kind of contract stuff. I was waiting for you to yell, Razo!
It said, give me a contract, but no estaba. I'm like, where are you? Cabrón, no estoy en la oficina, I'm at home.
Yeah. Roberto from Victor Granillo, is Vergil against Blair the Flair an option if Blair wins, of course?
Well, that's always an option if Blair wins and wins convincingly, because right now there's a big gap between Vergil, in his ranking. He's one of the top in the ranking. It wouldn't be an interesting fight now, but if Blair comes in and looks incredible, performs and wins by knockout or by just a blow up, then he becomes a player in that division. Not just for Vergil, look, he wants to fight Ennis, he wants to fight Ugas, he wants the big fights himself. So this fight is very important. It's not just a fight, it's very important for Rocha as it is for Cobbs, because a win puts him up to that next level where money, growth, everything is bigger. So a loss, it's not the end, but it is a setback. You have to sit back now while your opponent who won moves up, and you got to learn from it and make adjustments and changes and come back stronger.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. And if you guys go look at the Golden Boy social media pages, what they did today at Blair the Cobb's media workout, he was holding court, and Blair really thinks he could be a wrestler. Take some Ric Flair in the woo, but he was making some points about how some fighters don't fight anybody. And, he's been very vocal about Earl Spence and Ugas and other guys in that division. Now, Roberto, I'm going to ask you this one. Not because I know how you do your job or anything like that, but I noticed this, having done high school games, how, the referees were telling me how everybody was complaining that the fans aren't allowed to watch the game. They can't watch their kids. They can't do this. And then all of a sudden, they're allowed in, and people forget how to behave. And it got me thinking about this with you. Everybody said, there was no boxing, the pandemic, everything else. Roberto, we'll fight anybody. We'll go anywhere. We'll do this. We'll do that. No problem. Now, are people going back to the way they were, where it's like they're becoming difficult? Like what happened to I'll fight anybody anywhere? It's for the good of the sport. Is it now like, oh, no?
I want to give it's a great question. And I thought, and you would think that during pandemic, when everything got shut down, and you never knew, people would have learned, fighters, managers, trainers, hey, stay in the gym. Fights are falling left and right because of COVID. You're always a phone call away from being ready, or getting that call on short notice and saying, are you ready? I'm still finding, oh, no, it's too short of a notice. Oh, if you would have, I can be ready in a couple more months. That guy's too tall, that guy's too short. Boxing is opportunities. and a very, very good example. Because a lot of times after the fact, if you take a fight in short notice, if things don't go right, oh, see, he shouldn't have taken it on short notice. I wouldn't have taken it. I wouldn't have taken it. Okay. On the other hand, Bam Bam Rodriguez took a fight on short notice. And took that fight, went in, won the world title, and now everybody's talking about Bam Bam Rodriguez because he took it on short notice and he performed tremendous over a veteran, experienced former world champion in Carlos Cuadras.
Yeah.
Boxing's about opportunities. If you've been in the gym, if you're trained. Oh, and by the way, Bam took the fight on that was 2 divisions heavier than what he normally fought.
You're right. You're right.
So on Monday, nobody said anything except, wow, what a great fighter. What are they? But if he doesn't take that opportunity, he wouldn't be a world champion today. And a lot of people still wouldn't have known him, only the diehards. So the message is, in the gyms, you never know when that call is going to come. And if you're ready, you've been training, you've been sparring, you've been doing it, you're close to your weight. You take the fight, you get paid, and guess what? You might win and open up more doors. So it's a message that we're not in the same times that we used to be. So a lot of fighters fight and say, okay, I'm going to take vacation now and balloon up 50 pounds, and it's hard to drop the weight. Stay in the gym, be ready. Look, another example, Chocolatito fights on Saturday, wins, and Monday he's back in the gym, whether it was to shake up or what, but he was back in the gym.
Well, look, Beto, something similar to what Roberto just said. In the last couple of weeks, I talked to my brother Antonio. What happened to those days? I mean, from what happened to those eras, like our era, back in the day when somebody needed sparring and they would call us, hey, you know what? We need sparring for this guy. Hey, I'll go. We never, I mean, back then, there was no such thing as pay me or how much are you paying me? You know, we jumped on the opportunity. The experience is more valuable sometimes. We understand, obviously, money is how we make a living, right? I mean, this is our job. But before, I mean, you pick up the phone and tell, hey, you know what, I need sparring. Oh, I'll be there because it's fun. Sparring is good experience sparring a champion. The opportunity of sparring a champion is great experience, right? I'm telling you, 2 weeks. I went 2 weeks straight looking for sparring. I called everybody in Southern California. I called people in Arizona, Nevada. Nobody. I even offered top dollar. Who gets paid $1,500 for 3 days of sparring, 4 rounds, 6 rounds, a day, right? And nobody was interested. Nobody. I mean, it's hard nowadays, and it's the same situation that Roberto was talking about. Now I had to bring a guy. We had to bring a guy from Florida, fly him in. We got a guy from Guadalajara that stepped up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard. It's hard. And nowadays, these fighters, they're not consistent and they're not at the gym. Some of them, I'm out of shape. Oh, I'm not training at the moment. Oh, you're not paying enough. You know what I mean? I mean, they get spoiled. Before, it was about, give me the opportunity. I want to do it. I want to learn. It's hard.
Man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's I was just curious about that because I saw some from the high school games. It was like the referees were complaining like, now we have an opportunity for kids to work, and then they don't want to. And even me as a broadcaster, I do these high school games, and we needed a couple other broadcasters because of playoffs. We had different opportunities, and I called a couple kids that I know, and they were like, well, how much is it gonna? How much are they paying? I'm like, dude, if me, who I am, at my status, is doing the game, what do you care about how much they're paying? And they're like, I didn't say that to them. They're like, I don't know if it's worth for me to go. I'm like, dude, you're 21 years old and you want to be a broadcaster and you're complaining about where it's at or how much they're going to pay? Mejor, you know what? I let him go. And it's like, it's how bad do you want it? That kind of stuff. And I was just curious.
That's the mentality right now. It's almost like the communities or you got to pay me more, or I mean, I hear it right now all the time. It's like, oh, that's not enough. I need this much. I need that much. It's almost like I want to find a job, but you know, that saying that they knock on the door and say, hey, can I wash your car and can I cut your grass or can I do something because I'm trying to earn a living? Sure. How much? Oh, I'll wash your car for $100. That's not one. You're asking for work, hoping not to get it. That's it. You're asking for work, hoping not to get it.
Yeah. Is Razo working? Is Razo able to get fights?
No, he don't work right now.
Not
He's
to
a champion.
get Oh, you know what? My man Razo
his
made a
team is
fight
a champion.
today. I'm very proud of him. He got me an opponent for my Hawaiian connection. That's right. He got me a kid today and had a hard time and got the contract back. Said Robert. So I had to ring the bell out of the office.
All right, everybody.
We got a contract.
Let's congratulate Razo. Razo went to work. Woo! Good job, Razo.
And he brought me a burrito this morning. O sea, que llegó like already trying to butter me up. And hey, he hit a home run today. I won't say touchdown because football season sucked last year.
Oh, yeah.
Ese es mi gallo.
That's a Razo. He made a fight today. All right, that'll be pretty good. All right. A couple more questions before we get going. Coach, you done doing the dishes?
I did the dishes already. I'm about to start making dinner right now.
Coach, Toño Diaz, there was a big controversy about him eating all the conchas, and then he said he was going to go on a diet. How is Toño's diet going?
What diet?
Oh, he lost it.
Antonio's diet only lasted like 3-4 days max. That's it. I mean, and he said he was going to start a diet because his wife told him, oh, Antonio, you're getting too big now. So he went to the gym and he was brave, saying, oh, I'm done. But he's back to the old Antonio. I mean, there's no diet on Antonio.
In fact, the rumor out here in LA is not only is he off the diet, but he gained 5 more pounds than the original. So está más pesado ahorita.
Now he's heavier. If before he would buy 10 conchitas, he would eat 8. Now he buys 10 and he eats them all. He eats 8 from the bakery store to the gym, and then he'll eat the other 2 later.
All right, pobre Toño. He's not here to defend himself. It's all right. The question was, Daniel Choa, when are the fights coming back to Fantasy Springs? Roberto alluded that there's something going on soon. Do we have a month, Roberto, that we're targeting?
El mes de la madre.
Okay, somebody translate for me.
The month of the mother, which is May.
May. All right, so in May we're going to Fantasy Springs. Okay. Is it a weekend?
No.
Oh, ThursDIAZ on the road.
Hey, this guy's good.
Oh, is it really on Thursday?
This guy, I didn't say that.
Oh, I was just saying I'm gonna go take ThursDIAZ on the road, Indio. So let's go.
Let's go.
Because if it's on a Wednesday, then I'll just stay the night and ride the horses and go. All right, let's go. All right.
Maybe we'll be doing ThursDIAZ right there, set up, commentating the fights too at the same time.
Hey, we can do that too. Oh, Ace of SoCal, who still likes fights. Oh, he's a big Top Rank fan. He was in San Diego last weekend. Great fight in San Diego last weekend. When can we expect?
Hey, that's not Top Rank. That was Matchroom.
Is it Matchroom? But he's still a big Top Rank guy. He's all Top Rank. Him and Bob. When can we expect Golden Boy to bring a big card to San Diego? You're San Diego roots, Bobby.
You know, I was pleasantly surprised that it looked like a very good attendance. The fans were there. You know what? That was inspiring because in the past, I mean, and I lived there for 15 years. It was really, I mean, you have Tijuana that's close and huge fight fans, but and San Diego fans would sometimes go to Tijuana or go to Mexicali to watch the fight, but it just seemed like San Diego boxing wasn't a hot market. Hopefully that changed, or it was Chocolatito and the excitement of Ray Martinez and stuff, but they turned out and it looked very exciting. A hell of a fight. Hats off to Chocolatito. I tweeted every 50 years somebody like comes around and it's special. That night watching him, I'm not saying statistically or anything, but I just kept thinking we're seeing a Roberto Duran, you know. And I'm not saying style-wise. I'm just saying special. Maybe I thought, okay, in the Latinos, you know, Hispanic, just kept reminding me of Roberto Duran, even with age, being so good, beating a younger guy, dominating, of course, experience, but still, even in the later rounds, not tired. Roberto Duran did it with Davey Moore and Iran Barkley, and just kept defying the odds when you thought he was over years before. Similar to a Chocolatito. Hats off, man. Very impressed. Ray Martinez, nothing to be ashamed of. Yeah. When you fight a legend like Chocolatito, you didn't lose. You're going to gain experience. You're going to come back better than before. Because, look, he did that on 4 weeks' notice and put up a hell of a fight. If anything, I mean, he showed what we knew. He had heart. He had balls. And he's exciting. He's fun. And he didn't let down. I mean, he came up short, but against Chocolatito. So, once again, I see it as a learning experience, not as a defeat.
Yeah, that was a heck of a fight. I was watching that, and just the card was good. I mean, but that's also... I was talking with some people who said, you know what, it's good to have a card in San Diego. I mean, we've been to Del Mar, we have a good crowd, but if you don't have a big-time main event, then it's not going to work. But I could see maybe a Munguia there one day, Roberto. San Diego State has a brand new arena, a new football stadium. I mean, possibly. But everybody always says, I'll support, but then they don't show up, right?
I mean, Munguia did very good. I wasn't there personally, but everybody told me, and it looked good on TV. Great atmosphere. Coach was there, I believe, without Eli. That homecoming was just amazing, fantastic. It looked good on TV. And look, if it's a good fight, a good matchup, a good undercard, the fans will show up. So, yes, it would be cool.
Yeah, a good undercard. So, Razo, ponte a trabajar. You got to find that.
Razo was there in Tijuana.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, and he was the first one there before even the setup. Before we knew we were going to go to Tijuana with Munguia, ya estaba Razo doing a site survey.
He was over there. Andaba al 100 el gallo, Roberto. He was always on point.
Yeah, that was
good. I heard, and he I was very proud. He was right there. He took care of Ballard really well and everything. I asked him, please just look over and make sure everything's good.
Roberto, Munguia, what's his future?
We're in negotiations right now. Let's see. Hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, we will hear back and have a big announcement as well.
Roberto, you're full of there's big announcements coming today. I like this. I like this.
Just fought. You would think he's on vacation, but no, he's ready. He's going to be back in the gym real quick because something big. I mean, look, he wants the big names. It's whether the big names really want him. So hopefully, the next one is one of those big names.
Okay. So we have a Jojo announcement coming soon. We have an Indio announcement coming soon, and we have a Munguia announcement coming soon.
3 announcements back to back.
All right.
Good ones.
Cecilia Zuniga from Golden Boys PR, get ready.
Oh, she's busy. She is busy. She is really busy. April 9th. I mean, right now it's March 19th. All focus there, but April 9th is coming to San Antonio.
Well, that's Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait till that undercard gets announced.
Oh, really?
The fans better be happy.
You're saying the fans should be happy? Come on now.
Absolutely.
They're going to be complaining about something.
Not about the weather, not about the fiestas, and not about the fights. I hope not.
All right. Is there somebody that we should look forward to on the undercard that's a young fighter that's coming up?
Hector Valdez. George Rico will be on the undercard.
Oh, I like that.
Tristan is coming back. I'm excited. Hector Valdez has been out for a while. He got a little sick. Had to come off a fight, but he's been in the gym so dedicated, working, waiting for an opportunity to come, and I'm glad to see him back. I mean, it's going to be exciting to see him back in the ring. There's Gregorio Morales. He'll be fighting. He's from San Antonio, so it's going to be a fun card for the undercard, and I'm really excited about the announcement coming up for the rest of the television portion.
Yeah, and that's going to be Ryan Garcia, April 9th in San Antonio, so we'll be doing it. All right, so next weekend, next Saturday, 3 o'clock start on Golden Boy's YouTube page. Myself, on the broadcast, and we'll announce who I'm working with next week. It's going to be 6 fights on the Golden Boy YouTube page, and you can go and check that out. We'll have everything for you. Also, during fight week, we're going to have all kinds of coverage for you starting on Wednesday at the media workout. Thursday is the press conference, Friday the weigh-ins, but we're going to go behind the scenes and bring you guys different kind of clips, different kind of exclusive stuff. No show next week, no ThursDIAZ next Thursday because it's St. Patrick's Day and because, we got to honor our Irish brothers. We have to go drink, right? So that's what we're doing. But so no show next Thursday because I'll be working the 360 show at the Quiet Canyon. Tom Loffer's putting on a show there, so I'll be doing
at the pub
there. Coach, you have a guy there?
At the pub.
At the pub.
Hell, we'll be at the pub.
We'll be at the pub.
St. Patrick's Day.
Coach, when do you come to town?
Bobby's birthday. He's dressing up as a leprechaun.
Well, it's my wife's birthday on the 17th as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's her birthday on Thursday, too. She's St. Patrick's. She's a leprechaun, too.
Bobby, your son's a leprechaun?
Yeah, he's a little leprechaun. His favorite basketball team, I don't know where this came from.
No, don't even start with your son. Your son's favorite team is every team.
Everywhere except where it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
He's a Celtic, he's a Ram, and he's a Dodger. I'm like, what?
But then he also likes the Celtics, and then he likes the Red Sox, and then he likes
Boston Red Sox.
Then he likes Real Madrid, he likes Barcelona, he likes everybody. That kid, he's a confused kid.
He only likes Man City there. In soccer, it's only Man City.
Wait till tomorrow's post. He always has something new.
Tomorrow he'll pop up with something different.
Tomorrow he'll have something new.
You're supposed to be a Giant and a Niner. Not a Moscow.
There it is. So we'll see you guys next Thursday. Coach, when do you come to town?
I think Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday because we requested Beck the Bully to be here for the press conference.
Oh, nice. And
okay. Wednesday will be there.
All right, we'll get him going. So thanks to everybody who watched another edition of ThursDIAZ. Thanks for the questions. You guys have all kinds of information. Stay tuned to what's coming up. As Roberto's giving you guys insights on the future of Golden Boy. Don't worry, Oscar's not watching, but I'll send him the clips about what's happening. But that's good. Good news and something brewing with Jojo Diaz. I couldn't figure it out, but there's something brewing there because Roberto doesn't get that excited about things. And he usually keeps it under wraps. So there's something brewing with Jojo pretty soon. And then Jojo's going to spar at Coach's gym tomorrow. So Coach knows what's going on, but I couldn't figure it out. But
I don't.
What do you mean
All I know is that he wants to come down and do 12 rounds. That's all I know.
Wait. So you don't know what Jojo's news is?
No. All I know is his message was, Coach, can I go down there and spar 12 rounds? You got anybody for me? I got a lineup of guys for you tomorrow.
Really?
So that's it. That's all I know. He wants 12 rounds. Tomorrow I'm going to give him 12 rounds.
Okay. All right. Here. A couple questions that just came in right now. When is Sinisa back from Jacob Torres?
Actually working on a big fight for Sinisa. Most likely it is May. And Sinisa will be unifying her world title with the other world champion, one of the other world champions. I'll leave it at that right now. But it's a very important fight, a meaningful fight, because you will have two of the best in the division facing each other off.
And if you guys noticed, Roberto just said in May. So that means Golden Boy is going to have a show in May. All right, so we're busy now. So we have April locked in. Now there's a show in May. So I think a lot of the Golden Boy staff right now is saying, Roberto, shut up. Stop telling them whatever.
Now we're going to work hard. Now we're ready. We're ready. We've been excited. We've been waiting. And May will be busy. The Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation event is back on in May after a couple years of shutdown with COVID. We're excited about working with Sugar Ray and his staff once again, putting a nice event for a great cause, children with diabetes. So that'll be in May. And then, like I said, we'll have our new series with a show in April and a show in May at Fantasy Springs. So we're excited. Things are looking positive and looking like everything's going back to normal. No more masks, and just the message still: stay safe. You be cautious, and let's stay healthy to get back to where we used to be.
Another question coming in through Camarón Cepeda. What's next for him? My goodness, what a monster!
So Camarón Cepeda, I want to apologize first of all to Camarón, his team, to the fans. That was not our original opponent. In fact, Camarón took the fight on 3 weeks' notice. And then he was in the gym and said, I'll move forward, and yes, I'll be ready. I'll make weight. But then it was like nobody wants to fight Camarón on 3 weeks' notice. And we had an opponent, 18-0 with 16 knockouts. Week before the fight, he actually pulled out because his grandmother got COVID and got really sick. And with the week to go, that was the opponent I came up with. And he looked in great shape. He had a decent record on paper. But unfortunately, come first bell, I was very upset, very disappointed. He had a very peculiar style to keep it that way, keep it nice. Camarón couldn't adjust. It's very hard for a polished, seasoned fighter to fight a guy that's just so awkward and wild. And it wasn't his best showing. He got the W. Now on to bigger and better things. I would like to see some very good names, former world champions. We've been talking with the team. They're ready, and they're ready to show what he can do and who he is. And I'm very confident of his ability. So hopefully we'll see him in May. And we will be looking for a very, very good name. Very, like I said, a former world champion.
That's very honest from you, Roberto, to say something like that. And like, I was ready to wrap up the show, but I can't just leave that hanging out there now. You're apologizing to the Camarón's team and also to the fans for what happened. But there's some things that are out of your control. Like, so I think the important thing is to get the fight in there, right? But so why would you apologize?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because
just help me understand that as a
sure. What my main purpose that night prior was, I know the sacrifice he's done to cut weight in a 3-week period. I just got to get somebody in there, but you don't just want a body because, well, first of all, that body can just get injured, get hurt if he's not at the level that should be it for that fight. So I rejected several opponents. I was getting, hey, this featherweight will fight Camarón. I'm like, he's a featherweight, natural featherweight. Yeah, but because it's short notice, on a week notice, he's weighing 140, so he can fight him right now. No, I don't just want a body. But that's the kind of calls you get. So when I finally got this call about this kid, looked up his record, looked decent, had a decent record, a winning record. And then I said, can you send me pictures, video of his weight to make sure he's at weight? And he was actually, worked. So you could see that he had been in the gym. It wasn't like he got called and I haven't been in the gym. Weigh-in pictures look good, everything. I looked up a couple fights and I never saw that style of fighter right there, like what we saw that night. He didn't look so awkward, but come fight night, it was the ring was a little wet and it was slippery. It wasn't fair to Camarón. I mean, he did what he had to do, but it wasn't fair because coming off some good wins, that made it look like, oh, what? This is all the hot. No, next fight, promise. It'll be a very good opponent, former world champion. Like I said, that's what I'm looking for. And that'll show, he'll be able to show his level and skill set. And the fans obviously will be able to see the real Camarón.
Do you get in trouble for that?
I don't get in trouble, but I personally take very personal because it's like, that's my work. That's my job. And that's a reflection. And by him not looking good, it's a reflection on, it's not your fault. Gotcha. I mean, his team called and said, hey, we're sorry. No, don't be sorry. That's not you. You had the wrong opponent in front of you. We were crunching time. In fact, I didn't want a Mexican opponent for him, much less an opponent Mexican from Tijuana, because the first thing I told the team is, look, I'm going to find a Puerto Riqueño, Dominicano, Colombiano, anything but a Mexican, because I don't want to divide the crowd since the show is in Tijuana. With a week to go, I can't go to aisle 5, row 10 and say, okay, I want you, or type in the computer and print out. You start calling all over. You start getting calls with offer. Hey, I have this guy, I have that guy. And as the time's crunching, getting shorter and shorter, your pool starts getting smaller and smaller. and the money starts getting larger and larger because as it's getting closer, they know you're in a spot that, well, I'm going to ask for this much or that much, and they don't pay me this. So it was like, man, what? Finally, I had to, close it to let Camarón know this is who you're fighting. I'm getting pressure he was the co-main event. Hey, network, the TV wants to know who's the opponent. And you hate always saying, well, here's an opponent on 24-hour notice. So even though it's a week notice, it sounds better than 24-hour notice. And you sleep better at night once you have the opponent. So it's like, a lot of determining factors of, all right, you know what? It would have been harder to call Camarón and say, easier if you think of it as saying, hey, I couldn't find an opponent. Just, you're not fighting. Wait till next time. Well, he got a fight in right now. It wasn't the prettiest, but he got the win. On to the next. Get that win. Look pretty next time.
And that's why I love doing the podcast. And as a guy who's been in the business for sports business for 20 years, I always learn something new between you and Coach, and how the business works. And like I said, I was trying to wrap up the show 15 minutes ago, and I ended up pouring some more wine because it's fascinating how you're saying that you're apologizing to them, they're apologizing to you, back and forth. And this is what we give the fans who watch the show, the behind the scenes of what it's like. And Coach, have you ever done that where you've apologized for the way your fighter performs?
Of course. There was one time when Tim Bradley fought. I think it was up in Victorville somewhere, Burbank, somewhere over there. And the opponent they gave us, it was bad. It made him look bad as well. That's why I recall what Roberto's doing, what Roberto's saying. Because, through the promotion, the matchmaker says, hey, this is what we got. We couldn't find anybody better. And this at last minute, this is what we got. And, it wasn't the right opponent for him to look good, but he got the win. And we've had the same situation. We've been in this business long enough, so we relate in those type of things.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But what do you do, Coach, when you have a fighter who's like, you want to apologize, the matchmaker wants to apologize, but the fighter says, no, I'm okay. Like a guy like Jojo Diaz who jumps in right now. What do you do with that guy?
What do I do with a guy like that? I'll throw him in the dumpster because he's useless.
What's he doing? He's waking up or what?
Jojo Diaz just waking up. The real star of the show checking in right now. Toño, how are you doing?
You don't even know where he's at. Look.
What's up? Huh? No, I'm not asleep yet. I was in the living room. I came here to get my iPad.
Okay.
But I'm here.
Is it charged? Is it charged?
Oh yeah, it's charged. So I came here, kick back.
Beto, it's been like a 2 months that he started a diet. Look at him. Does he look like he's in a diet? You tell me.
Who said I started a diet? I said I would stop eating conchitas.
Because he was gonna start on a diet.
So you stopped eating conchitas. What did you replace it with?
I never. You know what? I've had only 2 conchitas since the year started. Up to now, I've only had 2.
Oh, Roberto, you missed out last week. They had.
Does it make a difference?
Ask them how big the conchitas are.
They were mini conchitas.
All right. So let me ask you this, Toño.
Yes, sir.
You've heard the show. How's it been for you? How's the show been going?
I've been going good. The show's going good. It's a good show.
Yeah. Did you learn something today?
There's a lot of drama. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen with Jojo Diaz. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen. The announcements coming up soon for the cards. I don't know. It's pretty exciting.
Manuel Flores, get him ready.
Roberto kept saying, "Oh, we got big D's on this." Every time we mention something, and we got big D's coming. I'm like, what? So there's big announcements coming pretty soon.
Toño, are you watching the show on your iPad?
Yeah, on the iPad.
So are you watching the show right now?
No, it's my son's talking.
I thought you were watching the show too. All right. So Toño, so the show was good for you today. You feel good about it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. And your fans are okay?
Oh, I hope
You're a little upset. The fans, I've been getting emails and texts. The fans are upset.
I think they were upset because I was an idiot.
Yeah.
I just got when I heard Roberto saying about the card, the what is it, the Ryan Garcia card, the main card. Man, I wonder who's gonna be the co-main. because the co-main for next week is pretty good.
Yeah.
Blair Cobbs and Rocha. That's gonna be a great fight.
You know who called me? I'm going to tell you guys a little quick story on the co-main for next week. Masa Ortiz's brother, Ali, he called me and he said, qué buena pelea. Qué buena pelea. Yo perdí con los dos, me dice, pero qué buena.
He was honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know,
Hey, he dropped Blair.
it's a tough. He dropped Blair, but see, that's the thing with Blair too. And the fans have to understand this, that it's a real fight. It's a tough fight for both guys. Blair's been dropped by Steven Villalobos and Ali Ortiz.
Yeah, Villalobos is crazy.
But he's gotten up. Not only has he gotten up and won the fights, he knocked both guys out.
Yeah.
So here's a guy, not just because he's from Philly, but reminds me a little bit of a Danny Garcia. And why I say that, not stylistically, not, Danny wasn't, so loud or this and that like Blair is, but always found a way to win.
Yeah.
That's Blair. He's found a way to win, and he's awkward and he throws you off and this and that. So that makes him difficult. And he's full of confidence.
Oh,
Yeah.
is he ever?
Oh, he's very confident. That's one thing he does have, confidence.
And a confident fighter, you can ask Mocha, you can ask Tonio, a confident fighter is very hard to beat. Not only undefeated, but an undefeated, confident fighter. Now, on the other hand, you have Rocha, who tasted defeat and said, I never want to taste this again. He knows what it's like, didn't like it, is really eating them up, and has changed his mentality and his training and his focus. This is a very important fight for both. The winner is going on to bigger paydays, more important fights, possibly be in their own main event. So that's what I like. The clash of different styles, different personalities, but both with the same objective. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you and move on to something bigger.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Well, it's gonna be a good card. It's gonna be a good card. The main event, the co-main event, and every fight under the main event is gonna be a good card.
Yeah, it'll be.
Beck. For those that don't, I mean, a lot of the fans, a lot of the listeners, everybody knows Beck. But for those that don't know who David Segara is,
He's tough.
I invite him to pull up YouTube
Yep.
and watch Chavez Jr., watch David
He fought the
Segara.
Chavez.
Yeah, and went the distance, and in eyes of many, beat Junior, and that was just recently. Junior got the decision because the fight was in Culiacan in his hometown, but Segara, remember, it wasn't too long ago that Beck had his first loss. This is his first fight back. He fought one in December. I believe it was December, right?
Yeah, December.
In Uzbekistan.
Back home. This is his first fight in the U.S. since the loss to Rosado. And it's not just an easy opponent. I mean, Segara's tough. Segara, like I said, in the eyes of many, including myself, beat Chavez Jr. in his last fight. So he can go the distance with a big guy. I'm really expecting Beck to go in there and he got that first fight, which is very important after defeat like he had. And like Coach said, you could see there was a maturity. He learned. I think we're going to see a bigger and better and more improved Beck.
Tonio, when do you get to LA next week?
I think I might leave Wednesday, I think.
All right. Me and Tonio are going to hang out. Tonio, me and you, we should do our own show. Forget these guys. Forget them. We need to have a show with the real star of the show.
Yeah.
And then we'll go get some pan dulce in downtown. We'll be all right.
He's a good bakery there.
And I'm not going to say that somebody said you have Tonio.
You got to take Tonio to the pantry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to take Tonio to the Griffith Park so he can run, bro. We'll be all right.
Hey, bro. I'm going to run, bro, but for a burrito.
To the fridge. To the fridge.
All right. Well, Tonyo, thanks for joining us. Your fans appreciate you guys. Tonyo, go ahead. Say your shout outs to all your fans.
Oh, I just want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you, Roberto, Joao, Roberto. Glad to be back. Finally, after a while. And thank you to my fans. Hopefully next time. Thank you to all my fans. You know, I want to thank.
He's halfway asleep.
Heyman. I want to thank Heyman, Golden Boy, Roberto.
Go ahead. Hey, while you're at it,
And all my fans.
yeah. Thank Probellum, thank Triller, thank everybody, bro. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear that announcement about Triller and the Vargas boys?
Okay.
Triller signed the Vargas boys?
Hold on, let me mute you. All right, so Tonyo Diaz.
Just get him off. Get him off.
For Tonyo Diaz, for Joel Diaz, Roberto Diaz, and for everybody washing dishes tonight, we appreciate you guys checking in. We'll see you. The show will be on in 2 weeks, but next week, the Golden Boy YouTube page is going to have a bunch of coverage from the fights, so stick with us all throughout the week. Coach, I want to do something with you. Roberto, I want to do something with you. We'll probably do something on Wednesday, and it'll be on the Golden Boy YouTube pages. Tonyo, all right,
I want to shout out to the Vargas boys, the brothers.
Yeah.
Destiny, hey,
Vargas,
all of you guys, all the best. See you guys very soon.
Good for them, man. They got the deal. So that's be a lot of good stuff for them. You know, you always like to see people get an opportunity to make some money and keep on going. So we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff for the YouTube. We'll do another edition of ThursDIAZ. Buenas noches.